Right. Last time on Curse of Strahd, you made your way out of Vallaki to travel to the Tower of Kazan, where you're hoping to find clues in the whereabouts of the missing Vistani girl, Arabelle. Um, you hire the services of two hunters, wolf hunters that frequent the Blue Water Inn that you've met before. You pay for the services of both, plus some other favors, um, where you make the short but perilous journey towards the Tower of Kazan. Along the way, Vogelsuch kind of discovered more about who he was, that there's in fact some sort of skeleton in his scarecrowy form, but also a lot of straw and kind of like
you, Icker.
ichor and all this gross stuff. You find more clues to Arabelle's whereabouts, including a handkerchief with which I think you correctly assumed is Van Richten's initials on it. When you arrived to the tower, you saw a Vistani wagon owned by a woman named Esmeralda, although she was not present, but her pet chicken, Esmeralda, has seemingly escaped her confines and just happily hanging out around the cart. There was evidence of another cart, and due to some paint on the ground, it matches the color of Rictavio's cart. And once unlocking the door using the symbols on the signet ring, you find more evidence, including a child's bracelet, a Taroko card, and a journal from Van Richten, and a painting of Rictavio's circus sign, like an early version of it in a fireplace. But there was no Vistani girl, no Rictavio or Van Richten, and you begin to assume that Van Richten and Rictavio might be one and the same. Along the way, you did have an encounter with some of Baba Lasaga's scarecrow and little gnarled tree-like creatures known as twig blights. And on your return, you met two hunters who ultimately revealed to be werewolves trying to ambush you. But once they got sight of your silver weapons, they retreated. But you were returning to this Vallaki. What would be your course of action?
What was our immediate goal? We were coming back to... We want to still be in the area when the festival happens, I believe.
Festival's a few days away.
Yeah. I had missed 2 games ago where you had, I guess, this dinner party plans came up.
Okay, yeah,
we haven't gotten there yet.
So
Yeah.
Tonight, you were invited to Lady Wachter's estate for dinner, but that's not until the evening. It's still the daytime.
I think the most immediate thing at the moment is maybe see if Rictavio is still in town at the moment.
Right.
Yeah, see if he's around the tavern, or I believe we saw his, like when we were leaving or something, we saw his wagon. He's like, "See ya," and like, yeah.
You did come across where he's storing his cart when you were heading to the church. There's a stockyards in town. You didn't interact with it at all, but you did see it, so you know where it's usually kept.
We can put there first.
Yeah, seeing what's there.
Okay.
I think that would be the best course of action. And I believe we ended after getting into the town, because I recall Vogelsuch's con working as we came back.
Yeah, the guards did not ask you again
All day pass.
for payment. Yeah, you have a little stamp on your
We
hand.
have park hopper tickets. We only have to come in once. It's fine.
This
The
means
Baron said we could.
yeah, this means I can get in without paying, right? It's like, yes, that's why we stamped you.
Got a little black light stamp on my hand. It's great.
Gross. Alright.
That's what they used to do at Disney World. They'd stamp your hand with black light ink so they know if you can come back in or not.
Oh yeah, that's what we were talking about. So are you heading straight to his cart?
I believe we need to find this Octavio and maybe give him a few questions.
Rictavio.
Rictavio?
He said Octavio.
Recagino?
I thought there were 8 of them. Rictavio.
Yeah, if his cart's still in place, then he's still in town. So that would be the simplest way to make sure he's here or not.
I agree. We should look for the cart first. Maybe even take a look inside if he's not around.
Good chance there might be a little girl in there, which is not cool.
Alright, so you gotta head to the stockyard.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Oh, look, he's
Oh,
right
he is
there.
here.
Damn it, he's there.
Yeah, hovering a couple feet over the air.
I was hoping he wasn't here. So, this large stockyard has several locked sheds along its periphery and lies adjacent to a roomy warehouse. A wooden sign above the front gate reads, Arisec Stockyards. Parked at the south end of the stockyard is a sturdy carnival wagon, its colorful paint peeling off. Fading letters on its side spells out, actually freshly painted letters on its side, spells out the words Rictavio's Carnival of Wonders. Heavy padlock secures the back door. And you see Rictavio kneeling beside one of the spokes, one of the wheel spokes, seemingly tightening it up, like I'm giving it a once over.
Who wants to go introduce themselves?
I think we can just walk up. We're already friends.
That's true.
Oh, Rictavio, good morning. Or afternoon.
He
See, you're keeping your wares intact. That's good.
a little bit of a startle. He looks up, like, "Oh, my friends, I didn't hear you approach." It's like, yes, must keep the cart in good working condition as he continues to use his wrench to tighten it up.
Oh, what are your plans for it, by any chance?
It's like, oh, it's part of my traveling circus. I was on a journey to find new and unusual specimens for my circus, and found my way here in Barovia, quite by accident, it seems.
Yes, I recall. No, I meant, where are you planning to travel with it?
He ponders and he goes, heard of a town called Prezek. Perhaps they're in the mood for some entertainment.
Are there
they're
horses
talking.
hooked up to this right
Go ahead.
now?
Not right now, no, this isn't a stable.
Okay, cool.
While they're talking, Vogelsuch will just start walking around the cart itself and peeking in any of the windows.
The windows are closed.
Shuttered?
And shuttered, yeah. He goes, "Oh, be careful, that's where I keep my saber-toothed tiger. He's napping at the moment, but you don't want to startle him."
What will he do if he wakes up?
It's like, I'm sure you don't want to find out. It was quite the ordeal to tame such a beast.
Insight check.
Sure.
11.
11. I'll say this. It seems rehearsed. Like, well rehearsed. Like, it's something he repeats a lot
Yeah.
to get people interested.
I mainly did that in case I rolled like a 1 to 4. I'd be like, okay.
Yes, I totally believe him. Well,
Oh,
you're certainly a traveled, experienced at travel. It, there's a few. I was wondering if I can get your opinion on something.
He's like, oh, well, ask away, my friend.
Yes. What would your experience tell you about this? And just dangles the necklace that we found from the tower from his hand.
He gives a look and he goes, reminds me of some of the Vistani, um, of Vistani make.
Yes, indeed. You would have a. You'd be surprised where we found it.
He goes, oh, did you stop by one of their camps? I heard there's one nearby.
Oh no, no.
well, we did stop by one though, Vio. Remember? The poor man in charge. I forget the title for that. Whatever. But unfortunately, his daughter seems to be missing. You remember that, Vio?
Yes.
If you want the names, it is, Luvash and his brother Aragol.
Luvash and his brother. So I guess the girl's uncle Luravel
Uh,
supposed to be watching her. She got lost in the woods, and one of their brethren was found decapitated. They're hoping that maybe she's still alive somewhere, so we're looking for her.
Dear me, what a grisly state of affairs. I hope you find who's ever responsible. But there's no Vistani here in town.
I don't suppose you've seen one by any chance.
He goes, I haven't left town since I arrived, shortly before you, if I remember.
This time I'll bring out the insight check.
Sure.
Oh, never mind.
The bar owner said he arrived the day before you did.
Yeah. You,
Did we ever ask how long that girl had been missing, though? Like, do we know when she went missing?
It was,
I think.
it was like the day or the day before you were at Madame Ava's. It was a few days ago. Like 2 or 3 days.
But it would it have lined up with, like, he hadn't gotten to town yet?
It happened. She was found missing, like, I forget the exact timing, but a day or two before, Rictavio arrived.
Close. Good enough math for me. I know you keep warning us about the saber-toothed tiger, but I've never seen one before in my life. Would I be able to sneak a peek at it?
He goes, oh, I'm afraid it's quite a dangerous creature and not quite trained yet. If he wakes up from his nap, he's bound to be extremely agitated. Understand?
Yes. But he's asleep right now, right? So there's no harm in a peek as long as we're quiet.
He goes, Madam, I must insist that, you don't pursue any further. It is a quite dangerous creature.
Minerva's gonna glance over at Vio, Grude, and Vogelsuch probably is out of, like, eye contact range, so I'm not gonna look over there. Just kind of, like, looking like, this is suspicious.
Yeah. Okay, new route. Don't suppose you know anyone named Esmeralda?
He goes, he ponders for a moment. He goes, Esmeralda. Esmeralda, lovely name. Saying, but no. Does she work at the bar?
No. It's
Speaking of-
the name of the previous owner of your cart.
He looks at you. He goes, Sir, what are you implying? That I'm a common thief?
Thief? No. Kidnapper, perhaps.
And also, not who you say you are.
Before you say that, it's like, I've been an owner of this cart for several years. Saying it's one of my main mode of transportation. And, then Grude, what do you say that you're not who you appear?
Yeah, that was Minerva.
Okay, sorry, Minerva.
You're just providing the vibe.
Fine,
It's
yeah.
like, "Hey." To say he really wants to scream it out, "Dan Richter!" But like, yeah, not.
That's quite an accusation. And he finally stands up from repairing the wheel. He goes, do you per se have any proof? If you don't, I suggest you leave. For such an insult.
Minerva would like to produce the Van Richten's notes on werewolves and the partially burnt parchment, as well as the sign on the like the work in progress sign, his whip.
Yeah.
Of it, and like, well, we were at a tower because something we found a ring around where the little girl had disappeared. No, the Vlaki had given us a ring close to where the little girl had went missing. We found somebody who understood the symbols enough to point us in the direction of a wizard's tower. We went inside. It was fairly empty except for some things in a fireplace. We had already acquired the book about the werewolves from, unfortunately, somebody named Doru. He had lost himself to the devil himself. And, well, here it is. Quite similar, isn't it?
At this point, you notice that he has his hand on the tip of his cane. And it's you notice that there's a concealed blade within it, and he's like just kind of at the ready. And he goes, well then, tell me something true then. Are you Agent of Strahd that you know so much?
Sorry, dude. We're just some people trying to find a little girl.
You've left a paper trail of sorts.
No Vogelsuch, it's literally a paper trail. I'm holding them. It's what brought us here.
Give me a persuasion check. With advantage, since you're all kind of been on it.
Who?
Do you want me to?
The people who were presenting the
Oh,
evidence.
okay, so Minerva.
I got +4, so that should be good.
Nice. Oh my god. Oh
At least you're
man.
consistent.
Good thing I had advantage.
That was a storm coming.
I could hear that.
Yeah, I'll keep an eye on it. Yeah, kind of continues to be at the ready. And, you hear a knocking inside the cart.
I may not know much about the feline species, but I believe they are incapable of knocking.
You hear a small voice say, she goes, Rictavio, I think it's time we tell the truth. No use hiding anymore. Rictavio should go, you sure?
We're sure.
It's a little late for that.
Yes, I'm sure. Open the door.
Just dropping rhymes.
Rictavio sheaths the blade and the cane once more. Produces a key. Unlocks the front door of the cart. And from inside, you see a young Vistani girl. Newly 11 years old.
She's got a saber-toothed tiger plush. It's brilliant.
Yeah, she's got some face paint on for.
It's like a Kate Sith.
No. Yep, she is
Very
dressed
good detail.
She's dressed in Vistani garb, and she has a plush saber-toothed tiger.
Well, I can see where you got the inspiration for the saber-toothed tiger, which is very adorable. But what's happened? Why do you have her in your cart?
He then kind of tips the top of his hat and removes it. And in a flash of light, in his place is a older man in glasses.
That is just what is Talos' character in
It's old Phoenix Wright.
Objected! But yeah, you picked some really great art for this, Joey.
Yeah, there's a lot of talented artists who do this kind of thing. He does have official art. Let me just show it here. Somewhere. What did I don't see it here. He has it somewhere.
Huh. Hat of disguise?
And in a very different voice, he goes, Hat of Disguise.
Useful for the trade?
Arabelle.
Is he like a jaded old man?
He is definitely older than what Rictavio is presenting as. He seems to be probably late 40s, early 50s.
And more white than jade.
Yep.
I believe you lost a kerchief. Hanged kerchief.
Arabelle goes, I see you found my clues. Sorry, Mr. Van Richten. But I wanted to leave a trail in case my parents came looking for me, in case this didn't work out. Please don't blame Mr. Van Richten. It was mostly my idea that I stay with him.
And why would that be? Without telling them?
I'm assuming young Arabelle's father sent you after she gone missing. I shouldn't be surprised that they would go to such effort to find a missing daughter.
Did we give the father the doll, or do we still have it?
Still have it. Well, I forget. But if you want to still have it, you still have it.
Yeah, sure. Yes, we did. And by the way, a little late, but happy birthday.
Happy name day.
Yep.
Yes, that.
her eyes kind of light up, and she's like, "Oh, she's beautiful. I love her. Does she have a name?"
I would assume that would be. I would assume that she would want you to name her.
You'd have the same name, Dave. See, I'm gonna think of a really good one.
What was the doll of? Was the figure just a girl, or was it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
was-
a girl with red hair.
Oh no, no, not that one. It was a. We're allowed to take that one. It's a doll that's kind of dressed in Vistani
Oh,
clothes. Yeah. Yeah. Once you discover the doll that looks like Irina, Niski kind of freaked out and refused to give it to you. I suppose some explaining is in order. I assure you there was no ill intent in my so-called kidnapping.
We'll say after reading what was left of your journal, I do believe you. Seems like you've went through quite an ordeal. Maybe an
had-
ordeal that's still not over.
I have had a long life full of hardships, yes. Where should I start? Not my life, how this whole ordeal started.
I was gonna say, so let's stick to just this ordeal, and if we stick around each other, then we can keep going back.
Agreed.
Let's start with Arabelle.
He kind of looks at Arabelle and she nods. It's like, don't worry, you can trust them. And he kind of kind of pushes up his glasses. He goes, several months ago was my intent when I entered Barovia to slay you know who. I hear it's taboo to say his name in this town. But I was under the disguise of a scholar. But I was found when I witnessed some Barovian children be attacked by wolves. My hat of disguise came loose, and a young man named Doru took notice. And wouldn't you know, he recognized me. A big fan, it seems. It was my intent to travel to the devil's castle alone, slay him in his coffin while he slept. But he blackmailed me into including him in his scheme, which soon led to his friend Esther joining and a handful of disgruntled youths from Barovia.
And that didn't turn out very well.
It's like, no. When we arrived at the castle, Esther went missing, and the devil's coffin was sealed. Was empty. Esther, if you remember, was the vampire spawn that was driving
the
Strahd's
cart?
carriage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Saying a blonde-haired fellow. It was a massacre. All of them were either slain or turned.
How did you escape?
He goes, I have quite a bit of experience in these matters. It was my intention to return to Barovia, warn the townsfolk, but that's when I had an encounter with Madame Ava. I've had my differences with the Vistani before, but I know to listen well when they offer you a prophecy. And they said not to warn the Barovians, that it was someone else's fate to deal with the devil. And as much as it pained me, I did not intervene. I found refuge in the old tower by the lake. That's where I've been for the last several months. He continues.
Are you able to come and go from Barovia?
Stands up straight. He goes, yes, I was gifted an artifact from the Vistani years ago. It allows me passage.
Does it only work for you?
It's tuned to me, yes. Like I said, a long and complicated history.
Look at him and go, are you the one who killed me, Mr. Van Richten?
Well, that I do not know. Of course, I recognized you immediately as a animated construct, but I sense no evil within you, no malice beyond the burning revenge that you feel.
I wouldn't put it as poetic as that, but yes.
Malice directed to a single person.
On the roads, I did see others like you. I avoided
I don't know
them.
if they are exactly like me. We ran into a few and they wouldn't answer my questions or acknowledge them or deviate from their bloodlust.
Give me your story, Mr. Van Richten. And you notice that she's like kind of combing the doll's hair. And he goes, I think I'll name you Eliza.
Did she just throw the saber-toothed tiger like in the mud behind her?
Yeah, I don't need you anymore. No,
I don't want to play with you anymore.
no, it's a saber-tooth tiger's like seated on a on the floor next to her. She's like on the little stairs leading up to the entrance. He goes, stayed in the tower for several months. I didn't wander far, but I was running low on some herbs that I needed for ointments. So I was near the Luna River to collect them when I witnessed two individuals. One was carrying a heavy sack. The other one I recognized as Esther. But he was different. He was pale and gaunt and sullen. I recognized the effects of vampirism right away, of course. Was to pay them. He was the other one was a young Vistani, who I would later know to be known as Yan. About to pay it no mind, none of my business. But then I heard a cry come from the sack. A young girl's cry. And I acted without thinking. I, in the struggle, beheaded the man known as Yan. But the vampire spawn got away. And inside I found young Arabelle here.
And you've been keeping her hidden, not to alert those who might be looking for her? Do I have that correct?
Arabelle speaks up. I didn't know why they took me. I was just playing by the river. My cousin Sergei was watching me when all of a sudden I was knocked unconscious and found myself in that bag.
Cousin Sergei.
He was the man that was kind of watching over her, but Yan got him drunk. Oh yeah, you weren't here for this part.
Yeah.
So Sergei was watching Arabelle. His friend Yan got him drunk, and when he
Fake
passed out, when he woken up, Arabelle was gone.
Okay, so
Yeah.
when he says he was watching, it's more like he was.
He got so drunk that he passed out.
Yeah.
And assumably that's when she was kidnapped.
And we found the ring on a decapitated body.
Right.
That's another clue I left behind. Did you find my Taroko card?
No,
Yes.
not one we missed. Did we?
I think we did.
Yes, we did. We did
Oh.
see it.
We found Childside Bracelet wrapped around a silver dragon, no, a silver dagger. A Taroka card, the hooded one. Journal that matches Van Richten's handwriting. Note for Rictavio's Carnival of Wonders, as well as earlier the handkerchief with Rictavio's nipples.
She goes, the hooded one represents mysteries, newcomers, and most importantly, hidden identities.
Subtle.
She
Oh,
kind
speaking of,
of smiles and goes, great granny, the great auntie, Ava taught me these. I'm getting quite good at them, at doing readings.
it sounds it. She's who initially pointed us to you. The gift is from her, by the way.
Oh, I must think it's from all of you.
Well, we picked it out, but she asked us to get it. Speaking of, is this yours? Showing off the necklace again.
She goes, yes, I left behind.
He'll.
You can keep the dagger.
Yeah. No offense, but I'm not giving that to a child.
But it's
Yeah.
Oh,
it
it's-
feels weird that the child's giving us a weapon.
I mean,
What do you have?
she says, it was a gift from my father.
I used it to stab werewolves.
Yeah. I was thinking as a thank you.
He'll give her back the necklace.
Yeah. It's a bracelet thing, but yeah.
Same thing.
Continuing
The
on.
dagger is a silver dagger.
It is
Do I have that
silver.
written down.
It is
Okay,
silver.
So
Probably worth a lot of
that's
money.
good to know. It's also a silvered weapon, so
Yeah.
we probably want to hold on to that.
Let's see here. Saying it was also my intention to return Arabelle to the Vistani encampment, but the mysteries of her kidnapping weighed on my mind. So I performed Speak with Dead on the severed head. I learned something quite disturbing. He kind of goes into a whisper that none other than Strahd von Zarovich was after the poor girl.
Why would that be?
Yes.
I thought he liked the Vistani.
That still remains a mystery. Only that I knew that Yan was... There was a bounty of sorts of young girls around her age, olive skin, hazel eyes. And Yan having recognized Arabelle as that, well, took action.
Nothing about red hair, though.
He goes, oh no, red hair, black hair, like most Vistani do.
All right. Just to be clear.
Maybe another kind of prophecy or something?
I do not know. Give me just give me a quick, like, history check to jostle your memory a little bit.
Okay, Grude's gonna do this because sometimes he's good at it. Sometimes? That's Arcana I'm good at, never mind.
It always rolls off the 18. I
Wow.
need to stop yeeting that dice
Wow, we're
around.
good at this.
Grude, being the expert that you are, you recall on your conversation with Strahd that he had just returned from the Vistani encampment.
Oh, that time in the woods?
Yep.
Oh,
Oh.
I forget if he met with Madame Ava, but you can kind of get that impression.
Wait. This. So he was there. He's at the
The other encampment.
other encampment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did hear that that the devil does make visit to Madame Ava occasionally to get her wisdom in the past.
and the recent, apparently.
Yes, after this massacre of Barovia. So I knew I had to protect the young girl. But I knew that the devil's eyes are everywhere. But I did know that the anti-magic field that surrounded the tower where I made residence. But perhaps I knew it couldn't last forever, because where better to look than the one place you can't see.
I would imagine to look in the places you could see. That's probably better.
That's why we made our way to here to Vallaki to seek other, more permanent hiding places. But then again, I knew it was only a matter of time.
Well, we do know someone, perhaps, hypothetically, in a little bit of a circumstance with the devil. And right now we're using the hallowed ground of the church to try and protect this person.
To make a long... He does nod, but he goes, to make a long story short, I used my hat of disguise, stole paints from the Vistani encampment, made my quite wonderful sign, if I do say so myself.
Yes, even your work in progress is quite splendid.
Graphic design is my passion. um, but I was just buying my time here, keeping Arabelle safe. Tell me more about this church. I admit I did not. I knew the father is quite a. Seems to be a good man.
We can't give too much detail as to how, because we promised not to, but it is protected. Strahd and his ilk would be unable to enter the establishment, from what we can tell.
At this point, Arabelle kind of looks at Vinrichten and with like kind of hopeful look in her eye. But at this point, from behind you, you hear a man's voice go, "No, I don't think that is going to happen. I think she's coming home with us." And in from kind of the back of the stockyards, you see Ariel, Arabelle's uncle.
Ah,
I punch him in the nose. No.
You have any mail?
No.
is the other the father, or
Just him.
Just-
oh.
He goes up.
You see us.
Quite the entertaining story, Mr. Van Richten, but I'm afraid it ends here. Arabelle is coming home. Rudolph Van Richten, who's close to you, leans into you and goes, "Do not trust that man. He is a servant of Strahd."
I'd like to insight check this guy,
The
because I don't trust anybody in this situation.
Wait,
Er-
who?
Aragol or Van Richten?
Aragol.
You went to Aragol. Yeah, sure.
Because, if he's somebody else with a hat of disguise,
Well, he's not wearing a hat,
Ken.
so that helps.
it could be a toupee.
Yeah,
That's
wait.
really funny though that they would have to be wearing a hat and a new disguise would be like a giveaway.
There's still disguise self and whatnot.
But
Inside
what
check.
if the disguise is not wearing a hat?
All you know from this guy is you saw him at the camp. He was given counsel to Luvash. To Luvash. He goes, "Come, Arabelle. Time to come home." But Van Richten turns to you again. It's like, "I saw him communicating with a bat in the woods. Say no one else would do that unless they're in communication with the vampire."
Pat, you say?
Inside check that guy? Van Richten?
Sure, yeah. He does
Probably
have
got, high
Who do we
perception.
trust?
he does have his hand on the cane.
If we cut If we cut the girl in half and then give each one.
Yeah.
Well, it's nice to see you again. Though
Arabelle at this point is kind of looking back and forth, not quite sure what to do.
Via's addressing Arabelle.
Okay.
It's nice to see you again. Though I did not know you were allowed to enter town. Yeah, how did you get in?
Like I need permission. Have you seen these walls? They're quite easy to scale.
Oh, we should have tried that. Save some money.
Actually, yes. I think we might have been able to do whatever, but still, why did you come in here? What business do you have here in this town?
Because I've had my eye on you ever since you left.
You followed us the entire way?
He nods. None of you have high enough insight or perception to see him.
Well, I feel like a rube.
Thanks for the help against the scarecrows.
Was entertaining. Arabelle does speak up and goes, Uncle, Mr. Van Richten was not to blame for what happened. I assure you, he is innocent in this. He can see he has his doubts, but it's more he just wants to get Arabelle back, you know. He goes, as it might be, you are coming home with me, back to your father.
There is a safety risk here, though. She's already been kidnapped by one of your own. How do you know that it'll be safe for her there?
Yes, how do you intend to keep her safe?
Well, from what I understand, that man is dead. Without a head. Well, not from what I understand. He knows he's dead. Jan is dead.
There's a bounty on young ladies that look like Esmeralda. He's not going to be the only one.
What was that about Esmeralda?
You said there was basically a bounty on people who look like her. Young girls who look like her, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I doubt he's the only one who would be after such a matching description.
She'll be quite safe.
How do you intend to keep her safe?
She'll be
Arabelle?
She'll be quite safe around her own kind.
Wasn't she around her own kind when she was taken?
Bad company, I would say. But at this point, Van Richten goes, take her home so you can, deliver her to your master. He goes, why would I do such a thing?
Got that evil, eyebrows, goatee.
Yeah, you have a goatee, you have those
Oh,
eyebrows
that guy.
things.
Yeah.
Saying, I saw you communicate with one of the Strahd's servants. How do I know that you can be trusted? Protect this girl and not hand her over. He's actually taken aback by this. He's like, why would I hand my own niece over to Strahd?
People have done worse things.
What
dude.
does... And moreover, what would Strahd need with her?
I mean, that's not really something that we understand at all, but there is a need or a want of people, young ladies like her.
And what proof do you have that Strahd was behind this? You can tell he probably missed a little bit of the conversation.
The one that kidnapped her told him.
He goes, Jan, he's without a head.
Well, now.
No, afterwards. There's this thing apparently called Speak to Dead where you can reanimate the dead and interrogate them as long as they've got a mouth, I assume?
Van Richten goes, would you like a first-hand demonstration?
Let's not escalate things, Van Richten.
Oh no, I'm quite serious. I have the head in my cart.
Oh, okay, that's much...
As long as it's a pre-existing head and not a new one, Very cool.
It did come off as like a really intimidating threat, though, which is like, yes, in other circumstances, fantastic. But just
Van Richten goes, "Give me a moment, if I may." Aragol, who has his weapons drawn, like a short sword, kind of like gestures towards the cart. He goes, "No funny business." Van Richten will kind of enter the cart. Arabelle will go, "Uncle, how could you be in league with such an evil man?" Aragol sighs and go, "Strahd just needs updates every once in a while about the well-being of the camp, knowing the goings-on. So I report to him every few days. See, make sure everything's in order."
Did he by chance ask about her?
Shakes his head. It's a one-way communication. Saying, Strahd protects the Vistani more than they like to admit. And because of that, some of us are in his service. Some willingly, some more discreetly, like I. Rictavio returns with a small chest. He goes, "I would hold your nose. It has been almost a week. Beginning to turn." And he opens up the box, and there is a decapitated head of a young Vistani man, mouth agape.
I've never been more happy that there hasn't been constant sun.
Yes, praise the Morning Lord for that.
Just praise the Morning Lord for his absence.
He will place the chest on the ground, and from his pocket removes a talisman. Whispers a few words. Talisman emits a glow, and the eyes of the head glows, and gives out a kind of a gasp, like a as the eyes start to look around too, as the head is now somewhat animated. Aragol's a little taken aback. He hasn't quite seen anything like this. Arabelle kind of has her head turned, kind of focused on her dolls.
Yeah, I was like, is the kid watching? This person
Yeah.
like
Eric Rudolph, Ben Richten goes, "There are a couple rules. You may ask up to 5 questions." He goes, "I don't expect a fully straightforward answer if you ask something complicated. And don't do something funny, like are you really a severed head?" and things like that. Remember that scene from the D&D movie?
Yeah. Did you? I stepped away for a second. So who was this? The head of?
Is the Jan, the Vistani who got Sergei drunk and helped kidnap Arabelle.
Right.
And Van Richten sliced his head off when he was
Right.
trying
Gotcha.
to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, Aragol was demanding evidence, and so
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
presenting this.
Oh, I would turn to the group and say, I suggest the basics. Who did he work for? Why did he take the girl? What did he intend to do? And if he was actually killed by Mr. Van Richten.
No, I would assume we already know the answer to some of those. Also, do not ask him your usual one.
I won't.
Unless we
can't
have a
help it.
leftover bonus question.
You can't help it.
But all those questions do seem fairly solid.
Ariel goes like, as a third party, I'll allow you to ask questions.
All right.
Let's
So,
start with
sorry.
the first one.
Well, the proof that Arabelle asked for. Did you kidnap Arabelle?
He goes, yes. Oh, yes.
I mean, kidnap Esmeralda, not
No,
Arabelle.
Arabelle.
Names. Our
Uh,
names
Es-
are.
Esmeralda has not been mentioned at all.
Okay, I'm mixing up
We've never
Esmeralda.
physically seen her.
Esmeralda was
Gotcha.
the owner of the other cart you saw at the...
Gotcha. I am mixing up people.
Yeah.
Yeah, Arabelle is the girl.
And to make things more complicated, the doll's name is Eliza. A lot of similar names. Aragol, like, just ask them all 5 questions. That's one.
Where were you going to take her?
Castle Ravenloft.
Castle Ravenloft.
Castle Ravenloft.
Yep. Well, that should be enough to answer it, but let's see.
Well, before we continue, turn to Aragel. Do those 2 answers satisfy you?
Well, time for my question. Who is your master?
Oh.
He goes, the vampire Strahd von Zarovich. And who killed you? I don't know. How did you die?
No, I.
He goes, a blade sliced my head from my shoulders from behind.
That's 5, so does it...
Yeah.
Well,
Perhaps should
I
think
was
about
going to... I was
Yeah,
going to
go ahead.
ask him if there was anybody else in the Vistani camp working for him.
Rudolph goes, what did I say about stupid questions? Of course he wouldn't know who killed him. It was an ambush. And he wouldn't know my name. Well, to answer your question, I'm the only one that I know of that has communication with Strahd. He lowers his weapon.
Did you know that Jan was in communication with Strahd?
Shakes his head. It must have been a recent development.
Well,
One would
unfortunately, that also makes it that there could be others that you're unaware of.
He goes, I won't claim to be, that I know everything that happens in the camp, but I believe I'm the only one. I know of several that frequent the Vistani camp near the, near Tyr's Pool, though.
I would imagine he'd want to keep an eye on Madame Ava.
Let's do.
So, can you truly trust that you can keep her safe?
Hold on, I'm just reading something. Okay. Sorry, what was that?
I repeat the question of can he truly believe that he can keep her safe now.
Now that I know that Strahd is involved, pessimist, I have my doubts, but I promise you, never deliver my niece into his arms. Whenever I make my reports to him, I should leave her out of this.
And what if he asks you directly for her?
Yes, Arabelle, what if he asks you directly? Marches into camp, demands your loyalty to hand over the girl. I can keep her safe, outside of Vistani's clutches. Sorry, that sounded a little harsh, the word clutches.
That wasn't the answer to our question.
That was Van Richten talking.
I know.
Yeah. He goes, I will keep her safe to the best of my ability at home.
And what if your ability isn't good enough for her? It's not whether or not you take care of her, it's whether that she is safe.
That's why I can offer, and Ben Richten goes, that's why I can offer her more protection. Saying, we'll find someplace out of Strahd's vision. It'll only just take some time. Aragorn kind of gets frustrated and goes, there's nowhere in Barovia where his eyes are not. And I want to have assurance that Arabelle is safe, and to do that, I need to have constant note of her whereabouts. Well, it seems, sir, we are at an impasse. But I am her family, Aragorn goes. They kind of like start arguing back and forth. Arabelle is kind of not sure what to do. She kind of looks to you.
Arabelle?
She kind of looks to you for guidance, like, what should I do?
Arabelle, who do you feel safest with?
Yes. I trust my uncle, but I trust Mr. Van Richten too. And I don't like the thought of you being in contact with Strahd. But I believe you when you say that you won't tell him about me.
You do realize, though, that if you do take her back, he will be looking, and you and the rest of your party will be in danger if he truly does want her.
Van Richten goes, not to mention that Esther escapes, so he knows that Arabelle is free somewhere. Won't be a matter of time before he comes walking up to your front door, as it were.
Arabelle has been able to be kept hidden by Mr. Van Richten. The only people who were able to find her were the 5 of us. Well before Strahd's cronies were.
And only thanks to the help of Arabelle herself.
And yes. Perhaps Mr. Van Richten has been... Back that up. Perhaps Mr. Van Richten is the better choice to keep her safe.
Arabelle does go, what if the church...
That's only good for that's only good for like the next week, isn't it?
Well, since you got the howling spell or the bones back, they can perform the hallowed spell.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So, but Ariel does go. It's like, I don't want her far away from home.
Then
I might be
with
able
her.
to. I said I might have been able to sneak in this time, but I don't want to press my luck. And I can't travel with her. I have duties. I have duties in the camp.
Then a compromise. Perhaps, uh, if our friend here, pointing to Van Richten, keeps her in her, under his protection, once he gets his cart moving, perhaps he can bring her over for visits, occasionally.
We are the only ones in town that don't know there's not a saber-toothed tiger in there. Well, at least not a real one, looking at the other saber-toothed tiger plushie.
And to everybody else, he would simply be going to perform his show for you.
Ben Richten, adjusts his glasses and goes, I knew I can't stay here forever, though. Mr. Arabelle, may I propose to you this? I will continue to protect Arabelle in my cart, not locked away, as it were here, for threat of detection, but we shall do so in the woods, close to your encampment. That way you can make regular visits to check on her safety. And she will be out of harm's way. Any dangers of the forest, I rest assured you that I can take care of it. And he says, like in a serious tone, you will not be safe in your encampment. Sooner or later, Strahd will, or a servant of Strahd will, come looking for her. And if Jan can be turned to spy for Strahd, then any one of them can. Not all of them have quite as noble of a purpose as you. All it took was a little promised treasure. When I spoke to Jan, when I performed the Speak with Dead, Esther promised him riches. More than the Vistani ever could. Arabelle ponders this. It says, I want regular updates. You can use your fancy hat. Sneak into town. And whenever I want to see her, I can. Whenever I make one of my updates, I'll come check on her. But Ben Richten nods. He goes, trust me, she'll be quite hidden with me. Among one of my many gifts that the Vistani gave me was a talisman that protects scrying. I happen to have two. One with me and one with her. Very well.
Huzzah. Diplomacy.
Yeah, this worked out way better than I thought it was gonna.
Arabelle goes, I didn't want things to become violent.
No one here did.
As this is over, though, now that everything's settled, Arabelle does run up to Arabelle, gives him a hug. And he goes, happy name day, niece.
That reminds me. Would her name still be Arabelle now, then?
Is Arabelle's name?
Probably.
I mean, like, I assume name day is, like, give a new name or something.
No,
No,
it's
it's the
first.
day you were named when you were born. So it's like the
Oh,
birthday.
okay.
That's how I brought it.
Just a rename then. Okay, never
It's
mind.
more fantasy than
Yes, every year we get a new name.
No, there.
Just when we
there was
figure
some
out how to use everyone's names, it changes again.
now there's some societies that like you have a child name and then once
Sure,
you
yeah.
yeah you get a new one at some
Oh, I
point.
thought you said Arabelle, but you meant Arabelle,
No,
obviously.
Arabelle. Yeah,
Yeah.
too many eras.
No, I like my name. I'm gonna keep it. But she Van Richten goes, but my dear, I'm afraid even with me, you will not be safe. I will keep an eye on you, but well, now that you're a big girl, I trust you can keep an eye on yourself at the cart. And I'll keep my safe distance. She goes, you're not going to stay with me? He goes, oh, my dear, I'm afraid that I already pushed my luck too far. That long and complicated history I talked about will not be good if I stay with you. I don't understand. You don't need to. Thank you, Mr. Van Richten. Thanks for keeping me safe. I know you tried as hard as you could. It was a very brave and generous things you did for me. And, she goes, your son Aramis agrees too. And at the mention of this name, the blood just leaves Van Richten's face. He goes, my son.
Starting to see why he wants her.
He's like visibly shaken, saying, Arabelle, my son died a long, long time ago. And his hands are shaking at this. But he goes, Arabelle goes, saying, he's been keeping an eye on me when you were away. That's why I know I'll be safe, because he can come visit me. And she doesn't, say anymore. Like, that explains everything.
Grude's very much like, oh yeah, all the Stani do this. Totally normal.
Yeah.
Arabelle turns to you all and goes, I'm sorry I put you through all that trouble. It wasn't my intention to worry Father. Well, I should have known, I guess. I should make a quick stop there to make sure she's all right. Arabelle goes, we'll see, child. It may complicate things, but I'll rest assured, let him know that you're safe. He goes, I do miss him, but maybe... I think that's okay. And, she kind of takes a step towards Arabelle. But she begins to stagger. Like she's losing her balance.
We'll try to catch her if close enough.
Who's the closest?
Yeah, which one wants to try to catch her?
Grude.
Yep.
So,
She's come up
Grude,
too.
you're pretty easily be able to catch her before she kind of falls over, hits the ground. You notice that not quite convulsing, but her eyes are rolling in the back of her head. And you notice that the whites are becoming cloudy. A lot like Madame Ava's did when she was giving her prophecy. And, Arabelle begins to speak. And when she does, it's almost like a multitude of voices are coming, or when she begins to speak, it's like almost like an older voice is coming through her mouth.
Yeah, it's very much just gonna hold her and like support her, and like kind of knowing that this is what's happening and not freaking out too much at
Yeah.
all.
And this old woman's voice goes, "In the darkest night, the light shall flee. No dawn to break, with no reprieve. From the grave the dead shall climb, their restful march a baleful sign. At castle's peak a heart beats red, its hunger deep and ever fed. Should silence fall, the sky shall crack, 1,000 souls in torment black." And with this, she kind of faints. And her eyes
Was
close.
it like Madame Ava's voice, or was it?
Yeah, it was like a little more kind of sinister than I meant to, but yeah, it sounded a lot like Madame Ava.
Okay.
Arabelle rushes over. Ariel rushes over. It's like, what happened? What did you do to her?
Hey, so bro, we just sorted everything out. We're trying to help. I think she just said like a prophecy or something.
Prophecy.
Yeah.
What nonsense is? What? That sounded like grandmother's voice.
Yeah, I kind of felt that too. It was I don't know, maybe if she's using her to talk to us to give us a heads up about something.
He's checking her pulse and all that, and she's like quite obviously still breathing. It just seems like she's asleep.
Maybe lie her down in the cart.
Yeah, I'm not gonna put her in like the mud or anything.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Can we get the text for what that all that was?
Yeah.
I assume Theo was writing that down furiously.
I can make a journal thing for it too.
Yeah.
Ben Rickton adjusts his glasses and goes, "I knew there was something special about that girl."
This is when Grude starts queuing in that this isn't just what every Vistani does.
Oh no, of course not.
I don't know, like Madame Ava was doing it. Like it seemed pretty like kind of like normal, you know?
And she used cards though. It could be that she has some kind of power akin to Madame Ava.
Yeah, something like that. I mean, they're related and everything, so kind of makes sense.
After everyone's kind of settled down, Ariel goes, "Oh, my brother's probably wondering where I am. I've been gone for far too long. I will keep my promise. I shall leave Arabelle out of my discussions, and I will send him false information to lead him off her trail. Mr. Van Richten, I leave her in your hands once more. But I will be keeping an eye on you." And he kind of makes his way to the back of the stockyards, apparently back whence he came.
Oh, so that's where he came in from. Okay, got it.
As for
There's a
you,
ladder there.
saying, to echo Arabelle's words, I am sorry to put you all through this. And he outreaches his hand with the talisman in it, and he goes, "Perhaps this will be my way of apologizing." He hands you his talisman of echoes.
The one he used for Speak the Dead.
Yep.
I was kind of hoping for the other one, but probably not going to give rid of that one.
Rictavio still exists to many people, Theo.
Yeah. No, this one's quite useful. But this is a talisman of echoes. If you have homebrew enabled, it will be should be in the inventory.
Yes, because nothing's coming up on actual stuff, which is surprising. So.
But I will, yeah, it's a custom item, but I will
Oh, gotcha.
paste it here. It essentially allows you, it has 4 charges, allows you to cast Gentle Repose or Speak with Dead. Gentle Repose.
Homebrew, where's homebrew stuff?
You don't have to attune to it, so it can be one of those, you know, just keep it in the inventory items.
Who would like to take that?
Sure.
Who would like to take that?
Oh, who would? Yeah.
Grude.
Go for it.
Woo!
Deez grabs
See,
it, carries it off.
Yep.
You can
Yeah,
now you can speak with animals and the dead. So now you can speak with dead animals.
Amazing.
We had to make sure that Vogelsuch didn't get it because then he would just be placing it on every single corpse that we find. Yeah, are you the one that killed me? Are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure?
I just leave them up there to not even finish the rest of the 5 questions. What are we saying?
Wait, that was only 4 questions. Oh dear. But after some time, Arabelle does wake up. She probably thanks you again. Thanks you for the doll.
Just like snaps awake, like continuing the conversation that when she like just went out.
Arabelle.
I didn't get.
Not Arabelle. Rictavio. Well, Van Richten puts on the hat of disguise again, turns into Rictavio. Returns with a horse. It was keeping at the stables at the inn. He goes, "When it's nightfall, we'll make our leave. Rest assured, the girl's in good hands."
From their reputation, and now that we know who you are, I believe it. If something were to happen to her, it would have happened already.
Rictavio does say before you leave, he goes, "Just on a matter of a other topic. Say, what do you think of the owner of the Blue Water Inn, Erwin, and his wife?" Tonica.
Well, I guess they're just trying to make ends meet. They're running out of wine. Their family is apparently associated with the wine. Haven't really gotten a feel of ill will from them yet. They just seem to be trying to keep their noses clean.
They haven't done anything out of the ordinary. They're a little secretive about the wine, but they're merchants. I would expect that of them.
He goes, the reason I was spending so much time in the inn was I was judging their character, see if they would make good allies. As for their secrets, well, I guess it's not for me to say.
I think they would most likely stay neutral. They do have children to protect. They don't even seem to want to anger the mayor, much less people more powerful than him.
Mayor. Foolish
Baron.
man. Baron Vlakovich. I'll be glad to be rid of this town. I was not looking forward to that ridiculous festival. Arabelle goes, I kind of wanted to see it.
I do not look forward to seeing what it contains.
I unfortunately fear for the dear Baron's sanity. It seems like this place of despair has led him to denial to a delusional degree.
Alliteration.
What deduction?
Oh shit, it's that Isaac guy.
He's not here, but
Okay. Ah!
Yeah, he's up on a roof with Irina.
yeah. Gross. Let's see here. So, where do you go at? Well, first of all, you successfully completed the missing Vistani story arc. Doo-doo-doo. You gain some experience point. Not quite level 5 yet.
Let's go kill some bats.
Yeah, let's just grind out some bats.
Can't wait to grind. It's my favorite part of these games.
I think there's some butterflies and ladybugs outside of town.
But let's take a quick break.
Yay.
This is a good stopping point, and still a lot of time left, so we can do the next part too.
Yay, we're being efficient and
Yep.
accomplishing
So
things
I'll
this
be right
time.
back. Anyway, those movies were good.
My first year teaching, one of the people doing stuff was animating a Ninjago character.
Like for fun, like for assignments and stuff. Not
For-
an actual for.
Stop motion or 3D?
Hand drawn.
Oh, even better.
Okay. So,
Would we waste time at the bar before our dinner party, or would we go? Would we have anywhere else to go in the meantime?
yeah, you have the afternoon to do whatever.
Fill up our bellies with beer nuts.
Yeah, we could check to see if Irina's doing okay, but otherwise, nowhere else I can think of in town.
I don't really want to like RP it unless you have something to ask her, but she's getting settled.
Okay.
She's like you can see she's helping clean up the broken windows. Her and the carpenter Vandervoot are kind of helping to repair the all the mess, all the damage that was caused. Milojov is there. Still has his job, like, Father Lucius didn't fire him or anything like that.
He's a good kid. He just needs a little bit more direction in his life.
Oh, Irina is coming with you, so I guess pick her up. I guess.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
Just stand there, watch her clean stuff up.
you missed a piece.
Yeah. Thank you. You could help, You did learn
Supervising.
You did learn something about her, though, so this actually might be a good opportunity.
You know who your brother is, and you're going to hate it.
Yeah, we'll tell her at dinner. Hey, did you know?
Just in front of strangers, just like,
Speaking of long lost brothers,
what? Nobody said anything.
Someone's got to bring it up.
Just go over and cough. Must be some dust in the air from that cleanup. By the way. But no, probably best to like actually have a talk with her, but like make sure she's away from everyone. Like, don't want to put her on the spot with like the people from the church. So if there's a place where she's kind of like we're alone-ish, even if it's like outside of the church and we're kind of walking away.
yeah. So like, let's say you walk in. Service has just ended. There's people leaving. And you come into Irina, kind of help clean up and start repairing the wall. Oh, hello. You still in town?
We just got back.
Say, well, I'd love to hear all about the adventure you had.
Feels like several already, it seems.
I believe it's only been a day since I've arrived.
We had a very busy morning.
Very productive.
Yes, it's been 2 days, but it's been a day since I've been here.
Are you enjoying your stay here so far?
Oh, Father Lucian is a very, very kind man. just can't get my mind off the refugees outside of town. But I am, in a way, I'm looking forward to our dinner with Lady Fiona tonight. But I will have to go into the Sister of the Burgermeister mode and social events and such. So luckily I brought along some more casual clothes. And you see like she's not in her kind of armor right now. She's kind of just in regular civilian outfits. So, well, going dressed like that.
Do we have any other clothes? This is what Grude wears kind of all the time.
I'm sorry, we were transported without our knowing. If we had known we would be transported to a hellscape, I'm pretty sure we would have brought our own change of clothes.
I
That's
find
true.
nothing else fits me.
But
I would worry about what did fit you.
but Father Lucian did step away to take care of business, like in back of the church. So you are alone with her.
Now that I'm thinking though, there is something you may want to know that we ended up discovering when doing some research on some stuff.
She goes, "Oh, what's that?" And she's discarding some broken wood panelings. Saying, "What did you learn?"
She's drinking water. Well, we found this book of various lineages, and we found Isaac in the book.
He goes, "Oh, well, that is interesting. I heard that he's an orphan. His parents were his parents died when he was young."
Yes, and though he may end up having one sibling, but the troubling thing is the name of it is Irina.
She kind of stops midway of what she's doing, places down the broken stained glass, and goes, I'm starting to piece it together myself.
Now, it may merely be a coincidence. I mean, that wasn't the name on the jewelry that you ended up providing us. So,
Oh no, I found this. Saying I wasn't given to me. I simply found it. Saying, besides the name, how else would you know?
Well, it was just a record, but that would explain why he maybe has a little bit of an interest of people of your complexion. Maybe it's less creepy than we thought, and it's more he just really misses his little sister.
I also assume it said that I was deceased.
I do not believe it was updated enough for that.
It did say deceased, presumed eaten by wolves.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
That then.
Yeah. Remember that dream I told you about at the Vistani camp? Being chased by a direwolf.
May not be much of a dream.
Want to know more about this Isaac, but I still don't trust him. Keep this a secret.
This doesn't seem like something we'd go around telling people, no.
But she looks a little disturbed. Saying, My only biological relative being that brutish evil man.
Well,
That is a lot to digest.
but no, there is an old saying that true family does not have to be of blood.
Oh, I knew that from a very young age. I knew that my father and Isaac weren't related by blood, but they took me in like one of their own.
There you go, then.
Truth be told, I never gave much thought about who my birth parents were. It seems so. Oh, actually, yeah, she doesn't remember anything before then.
Yeah.
Just didn't matter.
There you go. He may possibly be a relative, but he does not have to be family unless you want it.
I'm curious about him, though. Huh. Well, I shall meet you in front of Wachterhaus. At the appointed time.
See you then. Unless somebody else has something to say.
That's pretty much it.
Vogelsuch just standing there staring, as he usually does.
Oh, I do have Arabelle's prophecy here. Here it is. Here it is.
So the second half sounds like vampire in castle is hungry, and if we kill him, okay, that's good. If we kill him, then pathway home is possible.
Maybe you bring it up to Irina.
She might care.
Yeah. Well, many people believe if the devil is slain, the mist will part, and the sun will rise again. Especially in this town.
But it sounded a lot. Sounded like the sky turning black and cracking open. That sounded a lot more scary than like a good thing.
Should silence fall, the sky shall crack 1,000 souls in torment black. A restless march.
That could be in reference to the event we ended up seeing with the ghosts.
But let's
Makes
see
sense to
here.
me.
From the grave the dead shall climb. Let's start from the start. We're going backwards.
Yeah.
In the darkest night the light shall flee. It's like, yes, the light hasn't shone in Barovia in 500 years. No dawn, no reprieve. From the grave the dead shall climb. Their restless march, a baleful sign.
Like a portent of something to come.
At
I
Castle's,
mean, we have seen them walk.
at Castle's
Yeah.
Peak, the hearts beat red, its hunger deep, ever fed. I know this isn't a riddle, but Pistani prophecies are always so obscure.
Wait, do vampires' hearts work? Do they even have hearts?
I believe it might be a metaphor. It's that he's...
I'm glad you wrote this down quickly when she was saying it.
Yeah, I've always got pen and paper nearby.
Simon's just following behind in the bushes and tosses him notes of things he's written down every so often.
I do have paper, ink, and pen.
Anything else you want to do in town before you head over to whatchamacallit, to Wachterhaus? You do get a short rest, obviously. Obviously. Right.
Oh, that's the first time I've multi-classed on D&D Beyond during a short rest. It gives me the hit dice for each class, which makes sense because they're different.
Yep.
But you only have one barbarian hit dice, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. They don't combine them. They keep
Yeah.
them separate. You can obviously roll them together, but
Right. Find the place.
Velaki. Wachterhaus.
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 So, on the outskirts, near the outskirts of town, near the edge, is the home of the Wachter family, known as Wachterhaus. The house seems disgusted with itself. A slouching roof hangs over furrowed gates, and moss-covered walls sag and bulge under the weight of vegetation. As you study the house's sullen concurrence, you hear the edifice actually groan. Only then do you realize to the extent to which the house hates that what it has become. Don't take that literally. I think it just means it's kind of old and kind of
It's a
overrun.
metaphor.
And just like
Yeah.
creaking wood and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this description is very symbolic.
Yeah, looking at it, I get the feeling that they can't take the vines off because that's what's keeping the house standing still.
Yeah. I forgot to put Irina here.
Irina, get off the roof. Oh, there you go.
You know what? It says here to read this one instead of the one in the book. It's probably a little more more appealing. So rewind. A thick garden filled with herbs and vines stands beside this wide red-roofed manor. A slouching roof hangs heavily over furrowed gables, and moss-covered walls sag and bulge under the weight of the vegetation. A handsome red-painted door stands at the house's entrance, and its upper half is set with frosted glass. So, yeah, red. So, similar. The vines are kind of overtaking it. It's definitely seen better days.
Yeah,
knock on the door.
This place looks like me.
You don't have as many flowers, Vogelsuch.
Not on the outside.
I don't think
Ew.
we count.
Well, who will take the first step? I admit, I have never been good at official dinners.
I'll go. And Via will knock at the door, or chime bells, or whatever is available.
Ding dong.
Scream.
Some of them have literal bells on the outside. In fact, my mom does because the electric bell doesn't ring on her door.
You knock, and a few minutes later, hear footsteps, and a valet greets you. A prim and proper butler. He goes, "Oh, you finally arrived. Right on time." He goes, "Halleck, at your service. I serve the lady."
A pleasure to meet you.
"Oh, may I take your coats?"
I'll
No,
take off
thank
my hat
you.
and give it to him.
Very good, sir.
I think that's what
He-
Grude wears.
He is keeping his, mentioning to Vogel before he possibly takes it off.
If you wish
I think
to lend me your weapons, I can place it in a secure location, but but the lady understands if you wish to be armed.
I'll pop my scythe because it's my pack weapon. I'll have it. So actually, no, it doesn't just come to me as a physical weapon. I'll hold on to my weapon either way.
Oh, very good. Whatever items you do give him, and he places in a closet. And he goes, "Oh, this way, the lady will be with you shortly. We can meet in the dining room. Or no, we can meet in the parlor." This way, please. As you step inside the house, he leads you up a staircase. Past the door to a dining room, but you can tell that the kitchen is nearby. Probably on the ground floor. And, you... And, like, what you smell there is just delicious. Very savory. You notice that the door is a little ajar.
Is it better than like the stuff at the inn?
The inn had good food for, like, what it was, you know? This feels like a meal. You actually smell the scent of, like, vegetables, and, it's something that isn't wolf steak.
Vogelsuch, just as he usually does, he stands at the in front of the chair, and then will actually start learning and sit down with everybody.
Yeah.
Here,
Finally, we
Drag.
were training him for days.
He will not hold the door open for it. He will not pull out a chair for anybody, though.
But the valet will lead you to a parlor. He goes, "Please make yourself comfortable. May I offer you some wine?"
I think Minerva will. Yes, I'll take a glass.
Grude wants one.
Thank you.
None for me, thank you.
"Oh, yes, I was made aware of your special circumstances."
Vogel such as our designated driver.
"The lady shall be with you shortly." He bows and exits the room.
So wait, the interior of this place is significantly better than the exterior.
I'm gonna pat some of the cushions just to see if any dust flies off it.
Yeah.
Let me see if this room has a description. Here, 3 elegant couches surround an oval table made with black glass. All are set in front of a blazing hearth, above which hangs a portrait of a smirking nobleman sporting a broken nose and a tangle of hair graying at the temples. I think broken more like it's a little crooked. Several smaller portraits hang on the wall.
So it'd be like, why did they take this portrait when he was a broken nose? Why didn't they just wait a couple of weeks? They just hire the guy and he broke his nose. He's like, well, you already got me for the day. You might as well paint.
Well, it's like deciding to get your haircut done right before a photo. You should have done it a while ago. Could Minerva move their portrait down just a little? I want to see what the picture is. Okay.
Yeah, look at it.
Look at it.
I can't.
I was just curious.
Mhm.
And you can tell. Look at wonderfully drawn and stuff, but you know the chandelier was just taken from a stock photo and just painted over.
Oh, photo bashing? I mean,
Yeah.
that'd save a ton of time on all those crystals.
Yeah, nobody wants to draw that.
Maybe.
Arena looks around and goes, "This is nice, somewhat nicer than the Burgomaster's mansion, and surely nicer than what we had back in Barovia."
I wonder how this family came into having so much wealth.
We were told that they are essentially the closest to a rival for the burgomaster here, and in both power and money.
Money indeed.
And he, of course, suggested we not be here, but oh well. He asked us of that after we were invited.
Who has the highest perception? Probably Vio.
I think
Yeah,
it's
I think
Vio,
it's
yeah.
me. 16.
Head across the board.
Vio, as you turn, you notice that the door's open again, and there is a figure standing there.
What kind of figure?
You see a young woman in a nightgown. But her eyes are vacant. And it looks like she just kind of wandered in here. She's swaying slightly.
Good evening, madam. And you are?
She doesn't say anything. But she's like,
Hello?
it's like a dead-eyed stare. She's like looking
Yeah.
into nothing.
I kind of walks and like waves a hand up and down. This is a no recollection whatsoever on her.
None whatsoever.
Oh, way ago, weren't some of the people in the town or the tavern in Barovia like that?
Some Barovians like don't have souls, so they just kind of mimic life in a bit. And you've met a few. They're just like kind of on autopilot. This seems different.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's like she's not aware of her surroundings.
Irina, have you seen a?
Have you ever met this lady before? Anyone know who she is?
She goes, "Oh, young lady, are you okay?" But nothing happens. But I do hear a voice from the hallway go, "Stella! Stella, where are you?" Oh, you wandered off again. And in comes Nikolai Wachter. You recognize him from the bar.
Wachter. If it's supposed to be mock German or German sounding, it would be pronounced more closer to Wachter.
Why didn't you tell me this like when we mentioned it? When we first
didn't
mentioned
just
it.
get to this point. I did when we got to the house. I said the Wachterhaus.
Is that one of the brothers?
Yeah, that's one of the Wachter brothers. I don't know if it's supposed to be German or not, to be honest, but yeah.
It's
If it's house, it's spelled
Transylvanian, so-
H-A-U-S, probably.
Wachter? Well, I've been saying Wachter, so I'm doing that.
Okay.
But Vosterhaus sounds better. So I'm conflicted. But yeah, the less like the less idiotic of the other brothers. Oh, there you are, Stella. It's like, you shouldn't wander off like that. And she kind of puts a hand around her. But then he takes notice of you and goes, "Oh yes, Mother said we were having guests." He kind of nods. He goes, "Hello then.
Nice to meet you again.
Didn't know it was gonna be you."
Well, we are new in town.
He goes, "I'm sorry about my sister. I was gonna take her to a walk around the gardens, but she got away from me."
I apologize if this may be brash, but may I ask and waves in front of his eyes.
He's like, "Well, if you must know and be so rude about it, my sister Stella is taken ill." And there's another voice from the hallway. It's like, "Yes, Nikolai, you were supposed to keep a closer eye on her." As a kind of a middle-aged woman, very finely dressed, steps into the room. I need some art.
It's like introduce. So
It's a female Raymond Salazar.
She goes and is like, "Please keep a closer eye on your sister, Nikolai." He goes, "Sorry, Mother. Yes, Mother. And make sure she's dressed more of her nightgown. It's a chilly night tonight. Make sure she's bundled up." Yes, Mother. I'm sorry. Now run along. Make sure she's safe. He takes Stella by the hand, leads her out, gives you a little nod before she leaves. Kind of an awkward look at. Well, I guess Romaya's not here. I don't know.
No, Romaya's got other things she has to deal with.
Oh yeah, maybe she's with the two hunters.
Yeah.
Tune in last episode.
Probably stare at me, though, at Vogelsuch as he is.
It's like, I would love to join you in this lovely dinner, but I do have plans.
Oh, you won't be accompanying us.
Oh, that was Romaia.
Oh, right, sorry.
Oh, you couldn't tell?
Yeah, I can't believe it was spot on.
The Lady Wachter, does greet you, saying, "Oh, I apologize for that." And,
Not at all.
"Dear daughter Stella, fallen ill. It's been in this state for nearly 2 months.
Do you know what the cause is?
Not shy, are we?" She just says, "No. She fell ill at the at the Vakalovich mansion. They say she went into a fit."
In the
And-
Baron's mansion?
Yes. Quite suspicious, isn't it?
Indeed.
Hmm.
Did she?
all
Actually,
right.
never mind. Go ahead.
I wish I knew I wish I could figure this out in character because I just realized something.
I mean,
roll an intelligence check for yourself.
I mean, in character is.
No, I'll bring it up later if I
Yeah.
consider it.
Oh, but never you mind that now. It's like, did Halleck promise you drinks? Where is he? And as if on cue, he enters the room with several glasses of wine. Oh, excellent. Halleck, this is the Red Dragon Crush, is it not? Yes, madam. Nothing but the best for my guest.
It's a stark difference from the other drink we got.
Oh,
As expected from this beautiful mansion you have.
well, thank you. I would offer you some champagne de la Stomp, but regrettably, the last bottle was drunk long ago.
It seems as though the options are rather limited these days.
Well, that's how the rumors go. She takes a sip of her own drink, which you notice which is not wine. It's a glass of it's a small glass of brandy.
It's the hard stuff.
Saying,
Vogelsuch will just be holding the wine like he does at every tavern. Just hold the glass.
say there hasn't been a shipment quite some time from the Wizard of Wines.
Yes, the owner of the tavern mentioned similar, but did not wish to go into detail.
Yes, it is his business. Perhaps he'll have use of you in the future. Being the adventurers that you are, she takes a shot. But Halleck will go, dinner will be served in a quarter of an hour. Lady Fiona gestures to the armchairs, saying, "Please, accept home."
Probably as usual, Vio will have to move to the side to push Vogel into a chair on his way to his own seat.
He's thinking ahead this time because he is at a party or a fancy dinner thing, so he is attempting to do that. So he will sit on his own.
Yes, do tell me, when you were at the the Baron's estate, did you see his son there, Victor?
We had a brief meeting, yes.
I hope he's well.
He had as good a complexion as any book lover does.
Yeah, it's a bit weird, but his heart's in the right place.
Well, was that the impression you got?
I take it you believe otherwise?
He's of a Karlovich.
That is true, but
Velakovich.
in all honesty, I see very little between him and his father.
Same stock, though.
True, but
On to more pleasant subjects. But I will say, Irina, I am sorry for your father's death. I never met him, but his reputation reached all the way here to Vallaki. She nods, like, thank you. I'm sure my brother has big shoes to fill. Oh, indeed he does. But I want to know more about you. Don't get to speak to outsiders often. I know nearly everyone asks you this, but they kind of talk about your history a little bit.
I awoke in a forest not far from here.
It's like, oh yes. Heard about you. No, I nearly didn't invite you.
It would have been no matter. I don't generally partake of food and beverage, but I appreciate the gesture.
Wait, actually, let me rewind that a little bit. Saying, she doesn't say that. She goes, yes, I was quite curious about you. Being a scarecrow and all.
Yes.
It would be rude not to invite you. There you go.
He does make quite the conversation piece.
You're not very familiar to me, though.
Are you familiar with other scarecrows?
She, says, met a few in my day.
Any...
Never met, but she continues right on.
Yeah.
Never met an orc before. Mr. Grude.
Yeah, it's kind of like, well, maybe I'm not like a traditional orc, but there's been some more like growth amongst us. Yeah, I just kind of like nature and stuff. There's my little buddy D's, and like, I don't know where he just comes out of my hair or something like that.
Yeah.
And then
Out of a pocket.
it's like called a squirrel. Everyone seems pretty jazzed about that. That's a cute little guy that can jump pretty far, climbs trees really good, and can put a lot of stuff in his mouth.
He starts putting peanuts in his mouth. This is to show off. Lady Minerva.
Like, they're just gonna give a little high five to D.
Yeah.
It's
Good job,
like,
little buddy.
Good job, you did it.
Slowly turns her gaze over.
He gives a
after
little,
seeing-
bow. Lady Minerva,
Yes.
your inventions fascinate me.
Yes, it seems like there's not too many of those around here. I will admit there's not too much stuff to use, but here's my nifty little thing. And the thing, so it's like kind of just strapped around my back, and then I like activate it, so it's just like,
Yeah.
and it's like walking around. I don't think it can carry things. Like I can't make it like carry my wine glass or
Yeah.
stuff like that, because that was not the intention. But it's just like so.
Yeah, it can fire off giant death lasers and flames and stuff, but if you put 5 pounds of stuff on top of it, it just breaks.
Yeah. The realm you come from seems very different than ours.
Yes, well, I guess so. We don't live under the constant threat of a warmongering devil.
Oh, you can say his name here.
Strahd.
Krakoom.
Thunder.
It's like Felbrucker.
Yeah.
there's a wind and the candles flicker.
I thought you said I could say it.
Same.
Fix that window, that darn draft.
No tyrants where you're from?
Well, yes. There probably is.
And we call them politicians.
Oh. That's so true. I do think tyrant's a little bit of a strong word, don't you think?
Also, where we're from is much larger than here as well.
tend to think him more of as a kind of a landlord.
Well, it'd be easier to think that if you didn't eat so many people. I guess landlords do. So, point taken.
Saying, vampires drink blood, they don't eat people, my dear. You're thinking of the werewolves.
They eat a part of us. Maybe not all of our flesh and bones, but you're still fed upon like an animal.
And, Mr. Vio, I'm curious about what you think of our resident Dusk Elves. Do they differ from the ones you have in your realm?
A lot more somber, but for for obvious reasons, and I do not hold them against it.
Bet they have an interest in you, seeing a new elf in their midst.
I'm sure I'm a curiosity to them, indeed.
She takes another sip of her brandy. I was also quite impressed how you recovered the bones of St. Andrew. Vampire spawned in our city. Nasty business.
Yes, and I'm quite impressed you heard of it.
She smirks and goes, "Oh, Strahd isn't the only one who has eyes and ears. I've had my eye on you ever since you arrived in the city. Part of me was disappointed when you didn't help that poor old woman. That brute Isaac knocked her down. Dragged her away to God knows where.
I promise you I very much wanted to, but that Isaac is quite an intimidating fellow.
And we're on the unfortunate mission of being diplomatic.
Irina, when she hears that, kind of lowers her head. Her hand instinctively goes towards her, where her bite mark is. Even though it has nothing to do with Strahd. It's kind of just a bit of a reflex.
Yes, as she said, at the time we were also officially the protectors and bodyguards of our Irina here. If we interceded in that, we may have pulled her into possible danger.
Yes, quite a firecracker, that one. I heard that the thing she yelled at the Baron after she left his estate. Not becoming of a lady, my dear.
But probably well deserved.
Very much deserved. Dinner is served. You join me in the dining area. Oh, well, business would have to wait. Please, let us enjoy our meal. She, get guided to the, dining room, where you see a assortment of rich and mouth-watering foods. A roast leg of lamb, stewed vegetables, boiled and seasoned potatoes, and fresh baked bread with butter and cheese.
I'm hungry again.
Wait, we haven't seen any cows. What type of milk is it?
Could be goat's milk. Yeah, I kind of was wondering, like, what kind of livestock there is. But there's been references to, like, later on to, like, pigs and stuff. I wouldn't be surprised if this might be, like, goat's milk. It's like all they know. Or, made from ghost cheese. Please. I assure you, you won't find better meal in all of Vallaki. Dig in, as they say.
Much appreciated.
She makes small talk with you, asking more about where you're from, various things, makes references, references to the various things you've done while in Vallaki, even Arabelle.
Oh, dang.
Oh, your secret's safe with me. I'm just curious, is Grude and VO like vegetarians?
No, Grude's kind of more like that's just the nature of things. Animals eat other animals, that's cool.
Same with you. Not all elves just eat salad.
But like this food is pretty good. Like it has like the right amount. It has like spices. The vegetables are nice and fresh. The bread is fresh. Cheese is like Like, Blue Water Inn is fine, but this is definitely, like, high dining.
Nice. I think like as soon as it comes out, especially Grude's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be like this
Yeah.
tomorrow.
At minimum, they have access to more variety.
Yeah. Doesn't come cheap. But if you... I think most people won't barter with the Vistani. But I have no qualms with them. No reservations. And they get the hold of the most wonderful spices and foreign food. Have you ever heard of coffee?
Can I do a history roll?
Sure.
Probably.
Yes, Professor Grude.
I'm so good at these rolls. Well, this is a +1, yeah.
I think you've only failed a single knowledge roll in the entirety of this game.
I know, like building this character when we're doing it, that he was pretty wise because he's been like around.
Mm-hmm.
But
Like a guru kind of thing.
yeah,
If you ever get your hands on some coffee beans. Oh, what a delight they were.
sometimes it makes me sweaty though.
Also got a hold of some very, very fine whiskey. It's a Leaf and Brutrick, I believe. From Troll Skull Brewery.
I've heard of that. It's supposedly very good.
Wish I had saved some. That was years ago.
I heard rumors that place was rat infested.
How would you know that?
I heard rumors.
Heard roaming rumors. Are you enjoying your meal?
As I said, I don't eat.
I was talking to the ones eating.
As I said, I don't eat. He just says the same thing again without regard.
Just ignore him.
Oh, it's delicious. Lady Wachter.
Agreed.
Oh, please call me Fiona.
Fiona, this is like the best food I've had in years.
Oh, years. If you require more wine, we have plenty in stock.
I think this is good for now.
I think I'm also good. I haven't drank in a while, and I think it's best that I keep myself just to one glass tonight.
Keep your wits about you. If you are finished with your meal, we can get down to business, as they say. Join me back in the parlor.
Vogelsuch is still holding the glass of wine he got in the parlor before dinner. Like he hasn't
According
put
to the
it down at all.
picture, it's, will you join me in the right over there?
Yeah.
It's just like a cut, but it's just Vogelsuch is in the same position as it was in the previous shot.
It's like he's practically a still shot that's just being overlaid on top of the scene.
She will say to Halleck, saying, "I'll give my regards to the kitchen staff. It was delicious." Oh, thank you, my lady. And she will go back to the parlor. You'll take your seats. But now she does have a glass of wine. She's kind of like doing the thing where you she like runs circles around the top.
Is it making the noise?
Maybe a little bit. Saying, before I ask you a question, is there anything you wish to know of me? To put your mind at ease.
Vogelsuch leans in as if he's going to say something, but metaphorically bites
No,
his tongue.
she
And
didn't.
does not say anything. Does not say anything. These scarecrows that you saw at one point, I have a question about them, if I may.
He goes, that is a rather private part of my life, but you may ask.
Whereabouts did you come across them, or perhaps do you know where they came from, originated?
I will say this. The ruins of Berez. And if you will not mind, I do not wish to discuss it.
Very well. My curiosity is satiated.
Just a private matter. It's a young woman.
I'm not prying anymore, Joey.
Yeah.
Yeah, but here's the
Asking
history.
me.
No, I'm just,
It's very private. Me as a young woman, I was over here. It's very private.
No, I'm not saying, like, happened when I was a young woman.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
It's very private. Just stop asking me. I will not tell you more. Okay, you've talked it out of me. Was Perez the asking out of character? Was that the abandoned town?
It was a town that's was in ruins.
Okay, yeah, I
Yeah.
thought so.
I got it confused last time with Krez. Or Kresk. Something like that.
Yeah, Kresk.
Yeah.
Krezik.
Kresk, yeah.
Yeah, because that's where Rictavio Van Richten was gonna go.
Yeah, that's one further west.
Yeah. Any other questions for her, though?
I was gonna ask, have you always lived in Barovia, or were you caught up just as we were?
It's like, oh, my family has lived in Barovia since before the Mist. We were one of its oldest families. Very few people from the Mist ever survive long here.
Good to know.
As gonna have this conversation, you all get a kind of a whiff of incense, very similar to what you smelled in Madame Ava's tent, just for a moment. When you hear about like being an old family.
Yeah. I don't believe we have any questions.
You're not the curious type, are you?
Well, I do not wish to be rude.
I'm an open book.
Well, okay, I got a question. Okay, there seems to be beef between this family and the Barons. Honestly, you treat your like waitstaff and everything a lot nicer. You seem a lot cooler as people. Could you tell me like what's up with the Baron from your perspective? Because you seem like be like some of the only people that kind of say how it is.
Well, this leads into why I asked you here. It wasn't just for dinner and pleasant conversation. I'm glad you agree about the Baron.
Does treat his waitstaff horribly. Yeah.
More than his waitstaff.
Oh yeah.
He seems a man of absolute desperation and has managed to get himself to believe in the most hopeless of ideas for how to get out of the curse of this land.
It is a foolish endeavor, and I believe a change in leadership is in order. takes a sip of her wine. Don't you agree?
Well, I do believe he's not doing a good job. So yes, I'd say if it was not him.
I will agree that, indeed, he is not the one to rule.
Well, of course, his ancestors founded Vallaki nearly 500 years ago. They always seemed themselves superior to all others in the valley. And this current Baron is no different. Vargas came into power. Mysterious circumstances. After his father's death 11 years ago. He was nearly 50 years old, but as far as I know, in perfect health.
Yes, would you be willing to elaborate on that? What has happened?
Like happening right now, or like with the
What happened
Baron?
to his dad? That was like
Huh? Well, who
suspicious.
knows? Died in his sleep, they say. If you believe such things.
Yeah, that just sounds suspicious. I don't. Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
sure the timing of it was very coincidental to other matters.
The Baron, like most people in Barovia, believe the mist is a punishment for their sins of hundreds of years ago. Nonsense, if you ask me. And I'm sure you've heard the story of the festivals in our town, the endless festivals. Before, they were just occasional occurrence and amusement, but ever since Strahd awoken, they become more and more frequent, more and more desperate. And that's and that's by itself isn't dangerous. But the idea of them is. Because the more noise Vallaki makes, more likely Strahd's eyes will come upon us.
Well, from what you already know of from the other day, they already are, or at least to his allies.
Mm.
But I also agree that even at the very least, if he continues at the speed in which he is giving out these festivals, he may simply just bleed the city dry from resources.
It's not quite the worry of mine. If he keeps up these ridiculous festivities, sooner or later Strahd will get wind of it. And he does not, put it bluntly, he does not like this sort of thing. You know what
Doesn't
happened?
like making giant celebrations to try and get rid of him? Surprise! That's quite the surprise.
You know what happened in Berez hundreds of years ago?
Not a good.
No.
2 single people defied Strahd's wishes. And for that, the city was flooded. Strahd controls the land. So he redirected a river into the town. 2 people. One of Barovia's beacons of shining light wiped off the map. Now, thankfully, Strahd seems distracted at the moment, but sooner or later, he will discover what the Baron is attempting. The more they hate the Baron, the more they hate Strahd openly, the more danger this town will be in. I believe it best. Keep our heads low. Don't get on Strahd's bad side. Obey him when needed. Servitude is better than destruction. Please sip of the wine.
Given what happened in Barovia, I can fully understand that logic.
Oh, Arena's looking down, looking Arena's looking
Yeah, he gives her a bit of
like
an
lost in
apology.
thought. Yeah. I'm sorry, my dear, but the truth is, you're lucky Strahd didn't destroy the town. It only slaughtered half of its people. I know I'm being blunt, but that's the truth of it.
Yes. And what I meant mostly was that I and everybody else would not want that to ever happen again.
That's why the Baron must be replaced. But there is one hurdle to overcome. I'm sure you met Isaac. The mountain brute of a man. The demonic arm. Control over fire. As long as he lives, the Baron holds all the power. So I suggest we remove him from the table. Hello? Did my internet go up?
You do not want to know what we did when you were away.
We're level 12 now.
How much did you hear?
Where'd you end up?
Arena was looking sad and stuff like that, and that Lady Fiona was being blunt about her statement. Did you hear what I said?
No, everyone was quiet, so I just kept going.
Yeah. After that, I basically said that I meant that nobody wants that such an event to ever happen again.
Yeah, I think that's what I heard. Yeah, what did I say? I said, there is one obstacle in our way, though. It's that mountain and brute of a man, Isaac. His demonic arm.
Given the level of information you have, do you by any chance know where that came from?
She goes, no one knows. Didn't know him when he was a child. Returned from the woods, missing an arm. Teased relentlessly for it.
Was this at the same time as his parents?
Yeah. She says, kind of offhandedly, killed the boys who were teasing him.
Yeah, that sounds like him.
One way. That's one way to stop the harassment. Yes.
He was no older than 8 or 9 at the time, but caught the eye of the previous burgomaster. What a coincidence it was that years later, on the day of his death, was the day the day of the burgomaster's death was the day that Isaac came home with a new demonic fiery arm.
You think it's related?
I'm just saying,
Did the
what a
old
coincidence.
Did the old burgomaster die by fiery bludgeoning impacts?
In his sleep?
It's like from what I recall, there
Fell
was
down an elevator shaft.
there was
onto
no
some bullets.
from what I recall there was no evidence of violence.
It was natural causes. He fell down a flight of stairs onto some bullets.
Yeah. Irina says, he was missing an arm? How long ago was this? Must have been 18 years ago. By now. She doesn't say anymore.
And I bet we can figure out what the timing is on that one.
Yeah. Put two and two together.
5.
Damn it, we're bad at math.
Bad at math, and away with you.
Here's a standardized testing to make sure you're capable for this adventure.
And SAT, a Strahd academic.
So, if you catch my drift, I believe we should remove Isaac from the table. As long as he's alive, the Baron will hold power over the town.
Though he also does have a small militia of guards.
I'm well aware. Saying, I have procured a poisoned bottle of his favorite wine. If you can isolate him and have him drink the wine, which he does, I am told, on the shores of Lake Zarovich. He's a drunk of a man. Then should even the playing field be in a weakened state, away from his guards, isolated, poisoned by his own wine.
You've spent time planning this.
I have. Ever since Strahd awoken. He's had to find the right people to trust. After you bring me back his head, I shall plant myself as the next leader of Vallaki. Put things back in order. Irina goes, "Are you going to leave the refugees to die outside the walls too?" "Oh, my dear, they will be welcome inside the city." She takes another sip of her wine. "What say you?"
Vio will look at the others.
I see no reason to decline. Well, I see many
I'm
reasons.
kind of cool for this
not
right now.
much-
This all sounds like pretty
not much-
good.
I do worry about dear Victor, though. As much as he doesn't get along with his father, he will be missing him.
Not going to execute him. Exile him. Take away the source of his power. I'll take away the source of his power, his fear.
Oh, I thought you wanted... Sorry, I thought you wanted the Baron's head, not Isaac's.
Yeah, no, he wants...
Is that correct?
It's a bit embarrassing.
Yeah.
We show up with the wrong head.
Wrong head. That was pretty easy. It's like, oh...
Oh goodness! Oh morning lord! I did not ask for that. Oh
I
boy!
think that should be in character. It's like, no, I want Isaac's head, not
She got
Vargas.
distracted making notes or something. What will happen to the Baron afterwards?
Be stripped of all his powers, titles. No longer recognized as the Burgermeister of Vallaki.
So he'll have to get a real job.
Maybe he can help making toys. I'm not sure he would take that laying down.
Won't have much of a choice without Isaac. Saying, I have the means to sway his guards. Many of them only follow him out of fear anyway. The others I can handle.
Now, when you say bring you the head, do you mean literal, a little finger work or something?
I mean the head. I was being literal.
I'm so
The
glad
only
we're
way-
clearing these things up now.
It's the only way to be sure.
So do you really think cutting off a finger is going to do anything? Considering that monstrous arm of his. It's the head.
What if we bring you the arm?
Somebody might try to put it on. I
Not
vote
as
Vogel
easy-
for carrying it.
I am able to. Okay.
It's like that scene in Fallout. Okie dokie. um, then do I have your support? Of course. I'll give you the run of his armory. All the silver weapons he's been hoarding. And of course, Isaac's silver great axe. Yours as well.
I'm not exactly keen on being hired as an assassin, but given the alternative of doing nothing, it would probably be much worse.
I do agree. I do think there needs to be a lot less fear here. And all he's doing is driving people insane with his festivals, and nobody can even say, if I hear all is well one more time. I think I will agree. And although
And are you up to the task?
pardon me, lady, but we've killed creatures made out of many people. One person with a little firearm shouldn't be that bad.
But he is still a person. I want to make sure you won't... What's the phrase?
Flinch.
Cold feet.
What's
Go
that?
soft?
What's that? What's that animal?
Penguin?
Squirrel.
A chalkin. Don't want you to chalkin out.
Oh, like Esmeralda.
I don't know what you're saying.
It's
We
alright.
We understand the meaning.
Yes.
Something tells me that if we upset him enough, we won't have the option to chalk him out.
Then I have your support.
Minerva will look at Irina right now because, like, he's
Yeah.
probably her brother. How is she feeling? Is she just quiet, like staring in between her
Yeah,
legs or something?
she's being pretty quiet. He's an evil man. You don't have to do what you have to do. Like you
Are you
said,
sure?
you get to choose your family. Fiona sips her wine.
Then I believe we are in agreement.
Yeah, I'm with you.
You have my scythe. I'll summon the scythe into my hand.
My bow.
And my squirrel!
He goes, excellent. She raises her glass. Toast then. Clink.
Blink.
The wine shall be delivered to the Blue Water Inn in the morning. With instructions of what I believe is the best way to confront the man. How you do it is up to you.
I say we just go up to some of the decorations for the festival and start tearing them down.
That would be quite foolish. Better to isolate him.
He goes to the lake. Vogelsuch, we're probably gonna do it at the lake.
Then I'll tear them down after we finish with him.
Sure.
If you need to.
The hour does grow late. Zane.
Yes, we won't hold you.
Zane. Then I look forward to working together more. She snaps a finger, and Halleck will get escorting you out if you have nothing else to ask or say.
I want Vogelsuch to see if he can he doesn't put his wine down. I want to see if he just is able to take it with him. Like he's not trying to hide it or anything, he's just going to walk out with it.
I was just about to ask that.
You're-
You give him
Your glass, sir.
I haven't finished my wine.
Fiona kind of waves her hand. It's like, oh, let him take it.
I shall give it back when I'm finished.
Minerva just like looks over at Fiona and has her hands up and shaking her head and like mouths. I don't know what that means.
When you leave the house, though, Irina goes, before we kill him, if it comes to that, maybe I can reason with him. I want to come with you to the lake.
if you're sure.
I'm definitely not sure. But I think it's something I have to do.
I guess it's at least best to try rather than contemplate what you could have done.
She will return to the church, retire for the night. But when you return to the inn, a couple things do happen. One, you see the two hunters looking in a very good mood at the bar. Romaia is sipping at some wine, chatting up another patron. No Rictavio. Carl watched her there today. But you do see that a lot of the bar stools has been are in like splinters. And Erwin is there kind of like cleaning everything up. And like there's some broken wine bottles and glasses that are being cleaned.
Something happened?
Goes that brute Isaac came storming to the tavern, demanding to know where Irina was.
Irina? Why is that?
He goes, I don't bloody know. Didn't tell him anything, of course, don't worry. But he smashed up the place good. Threw around a couple guests. Says, luckily Romaia was there to stand up for them. Perform some of her magic. But he stomped out in a rage.
Give Romaia a thumbs up.
She pretends that she doesn't know us losers.
I just sips at her drink.
How's your day?
We're going on a mission.
Perhaps I'll join.
Sharpen those horns of yours. We might need them.
If I don't have more clients, that is. And she kind of winks at the person that she's talking up. Kind of like how Jess has an in-character reason why she won't be around for missions. Come back,
Vogelsuch is
Jess.
standing around for the thing and
Just keeps getting
Romaia-
more and more money when we show up.
Yeah. Well, that does remind me, and Erwin hands you a note saying that kind of in hushed tones, the lucky man came by. Said thank you for rescuing you know who. Said you were promised a reward from the Vistani. Saying if you wish I can procure the gold. Said 500 gold pieces. My goodness.
Wow.
But I believe they would much prefer to reward you in goods. Perhaps an item you wish, or something wondrous or magical in nature that they gathered in their journeys. They might be able to procure. Says I can send word to him and have the money or the items delivered here by tomorrow.
Let us consider it for a bit, but
Yeah, I can't think of an item off the top of my head,
Yeah.
but I'm sure if I looked into
Well,
it.
here is a list, and he pulls out a big list of
Oh, cool.
of D&D items. So yeah, over until next time, if you want to look over some items worth under 500 gold pieces, they might potentially have it. They do travel to distant realms, so they have items to trade.
That'll generally be uncommon or common.
Usually,
magical
yeah,
or-
uncommon. Unless you want to splurge for one rare, that might be possible.
Airship is 20,000.
Yeah, no airships, sorry. He does
let's
go.
get the barrel that turns into a crab robot.
He goes,
The something apparatus.
The
Qualish.
Qualish one. Yeah.
the apparatus, the Qualish.
Apparatus. Yeah.
Yeah.
Erwin does go, Tavio never showed up tonight. It's a shame, too. The guests liked him.
I heard he needed to.
We're just all there,
repair
like, twiddling our thumbs, like, doo doo doo. Don't know anything about that.
I heard he needed to repair his wagon.
Tanaka, his wife, comes up and goes, it's like, a nice, if odd man, but to be frank, I, didn't like giving him free room and board every night. It's like, he was paying it off with entertainment. Yes, but not gold. You're right.
He kept people in.
but-
Yeah, he kept people here for longer, and they were able to purchase more alcohol.
Oh, exactly. Oh, see?
You most likely earned more in refreshments from others than you would have with board.
Yeah, taverns basically make most of their money off concessions.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like movie theaters.
Let's
Yeah.
break down the economics of this
Yeah.
tavern for the owners.
Tanaka will say to Erwin again, still no shipment today, dear. Oh. Understand. If it doesn't happen soon, then we'll be totally dry. I know. My family is not one to be late on their shipments. Something must have held them off, all the going on the road. Let's tell me all about. Or he says, you look exhausted from whatever you got up to today. I think we should retire to your rooms.
Yes,
Yes.
I need to finish. I need a quiet place to finish my wine, and I'll hold up the wine glass I've been holding.
I thought you gave that back.
Nope.
No outside for the drink.
Erwin goes, oh yes, you're at dinner. Didn't have to still have her, bottle of champagne de la Stomp, did she? I knew that she was in possession of a bottle.
She said she hadn't had one in a long time.
She does apparently have a surplus of the
other one.
the berry
Red Dragon
crush.
Crush.
Red Dragon
Yeah.
Crush. It's like probably just a barrel or two. Worth asking her, but I don't want any favors from her.
No?
Say- I was just curious about the champagne. And yeah, Wizard of Wines hasn't been able to procure those for nearly 10 years now.
Perhaps next harvest.
Oh, there won't be any more harvest.
What?
For the champagne deal stop.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
That sounded ominous, like they just weren't going to be making wine anymore.
yeah. Oh,
Ran out of grapes, I suppose.
he kind of ponders for a moment and says, the Wizards of Wine have their special ways of harvesting such potent crop in this barren land.
I heard they collected from the prairies and the distant prairies in the woods.
Yeah. On top of the mountains. And one of those means of harvesting the fields, became not available nearly a decade ago.
What happened?
Well, let's just say it's the reason why I'm here and not back home. But with that, return to your rooms, get a long rest.
I would like to ask people, like, as like
Sure,
we're
yeah.
leaving, to be like, has anyone else noticed that maybe something might be up with the wizards? Should we inquire about it?
Oh yeah, it definitely seems like we got some like chores to do or something with that, maybe.
Well, they haven't asked you, and people know that it comes from a place called the Wizard of Wines, but no one leaves towns to go there, so they wouldn't have any information about it. Only that the Marketov family runs it. Is like
They don't know where though.
they probably know where. It's near Berez. Oh, I'm sorry, not Berez. Fresk.
Presk, yeah.
Yeah. Actually, close to the church Father Darvich told you about.
Something tells me we are never going to go to Breshk. Well, with how it never it comes into your thoughts at all.
But yeah, if you have any questions for him, he doesn't really seem to want to talk about what happened or anything. But
Hey, he seems to be loosening up, slowly on finally asking us, "Hey, can you go check this out?" But doesn't seem it yet.
as you ascend the stairs, you hear the familiar sound of the crows that tend to gather on the roof. Romaia goes to a neighboring room with another client. No, Carl or Nikolai Wachter here. Wachter. Now I have to look that up, see if it's actually pronounced that in this game.
In German, W is pronounced as a V. All consonants or all letters are essentially pronounced. CH is a hard K, if I recall. So it'd be Wachter.
Like a K.
Yeah.
But you level. No, you don't level up. Sorry, you take a long.
Oh, no.
You take
You can't no take backsies.
take a long rest,
Look at your level. Just look at it.
and you gain
Don't
a 0.0% of a level.
Oh, we didn't gain enough experience from eating dinner.
Nope.
Knew we should
10,000
have
experience. But that's it for today.
Woo!
Doing it.
It is now the 5th of Navar.
Oh, we gotta remember the 5th of Navar.
Always remember. Do you remember the very 5th day in the Navar? Alright, thank you everyone.
So, thank you.
Good night, everyone.
Night.
Good night.
No
Nah.
offense.
Alright, we should be good next week too. So
Yeah.
Let's see if I can do more on this the Rictavio.
Animation that you did.
Yeah.
what's that? Oh wow, there's some here.
Yeah.
What
See him jump around.
what is he doing?
He's just like telling a story like way too dramatically.
Yeah, I gotta
Like,
put this in.
"No," and then goes around.
Gotta put this
Like-
in the
Oh.
there we go. Put in the recording.
Nice.
Yeah, that's and then what was he doing?
Yeah, it's just like we went out, we looked for it, but I knew better. Yeah.
I saw the young
guess it
girl
make
being
more sense-
kidnapped.
It'd make more sense if I put the tavern as the background, so just some.
Yeah, a little bit. It's like he's like,
Wait.
oh, is that a girl being kidnapped?
Oh no!
This looks like a job for Rictavio.
Yeah. The background is him telling us about how right before he was about to decapitate a person, he was in a
Yeah.
forest. So.
Oh, that'd be
Just a
really
flashback.
funny. Like, so it's like them
Wildly
telling a story,
inappropriate.
but it's like a flashback, but they're in the flashback telling the story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna do some cleanup on that so he's more recognizable throughout.
Mm-hmm.
I've been watching a lot of videos on like how anime is drawn, and there's just so much detail, and so I'm gonna try drawing a more detailed thing.
Really, this gives me more like early Merry Melodies kind of that final facial expression. I absolutely love.
Yeah.
It's
I've run about.
got a bit
I'll
of a-
steal it.
Yeah, she
Yeah,
does
it's
the villain from Dover Boys kind of.
Should have like the pointing Wojak of Rictavio, and they're pointing to Esther and Jan with the sack.
I shall decapitate him. No one will ever know.
Wait, what's pointing Wojak? What was that?
Oh, you know that the pointing meme with the guy making like the ooh face?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that stylus.
Apparently memes have names.
Yeah, apparently those things are called Wojaks. I don't know why, but that's just what they're called.
I know that one. Mm-hmm.
Like the white outlines with like the really gross looking faces.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. I don't know why they're called that. They just are.
Ugh, gross. I
Yeah.
hate the over-rendered ones, but they're perfect.
Yeah.
Alright, well, I'm gonna jump off. Thanks, Joey.
Yep. Like I said, we should be good next week too. So,
Yep, cool. Alright, later.
bye.
See ya. Bye.
Oh,